Chip chip and good morning everyone. I'm Birdie, a primary school teacher by day and a cozy creative gamer in my free time. I love getting lost in games like The Sims 4 where I can build, imagine and truly unwind. I'm so happy you decided to join me here today. Welcome to another build in my Simflix and Guest Safer series, where every lot and townie is inspired by shows from Netflix, Prime Video, Disney Plus and beyond. Most of my builds aren't exact replicas of the homes you see on screen, instead they are my personal take on iconic series and characters reimagined to fit naturally into the worlds of The Sims 4. And because I love a good little mystery, I won't be telling you right away which character or TV series inspired today's build. As you watch, I'll be dropping hints to help you figure it out, but the big reveal comes at the very end, so keep an eye out and see if you can guess whose house this is. Let's jump in and get building. So first of all, let me tell you some things about the build of today. We are building in the world called Innisgreen, which is the world that came with the Enchanted by Nature expansion pack. And we're building in the Batuu neighborhood on the tree lot, which is originally called Crannamor Residential. It is a 20 by 20 and my build ends up costing around 96,208 Simoleons. It is not a limited pack build because I used a bunch of different packs. First and foremost, Enchanted by Nature, obviously because we are building in the world that came with the pack, so I wanted my house to fit the vibe of the neighboring surroundings. So now it's time for the first hint on whose house I'm building today. So the house is inspired by another video game, not a series. It is inspired by the game called Palia and a special villager in it. If you're not familiar with Palia, Palia is a free-to-play fantasy life sim adventure, and if you know the game and the NPCs, which are called villagers in Palia, you might already know which character's home I'm building if you look at the thumbnail. If not, keep on watching and guessing and look up the game Palia after this video. I really recommend checking it out. It is a great game and I really enjoy playing it. So the house ends up having one bedroom and one bathroom. Well, one bathroom isn't entirely true because there's no real bathroom on the inside. The only bathroom on this lot is an outhouse and there also is a bathtub outside. But everything is functional. Your sim can use the outside toilet and take a bath in the outside bathtub. And inside there also is a sink in the kitchen, so your sim can wash their hands there and your sim can fulfill all of their needs on this lot if you decide to download my build from the Sims 4 gallery. For the style I went with today, I would describe it as an enchanted woodland hideaway or even as a mystical cottage, which has a feeling of solitude to it because it is designed for one sim and this sim is living on the outskirts. She or he is living on a tree away from others, and I used a bunch of rustic textures, rustic wood tones, stones, mossy greens, as well as muted earth tones. And for the color scheme outside, as you can see, I went with mostly greens and purples. Inside, the main colors are also purple and green, and I paired them with black and darker tones and also some darker wood tones. So the whole lot and mainly the interior has a witchy atmosphere to it, and all in all I would describe it as a forest alchemist style or even a witch core cottage. So right now, going on and talking a little more about what you can actually see on the screen right now. You already saw me building the basic structure of the house, and there's one thing I wanted to point out. I used two tricks for the entrance, so I placed down a round foundation and I also placed a basement underneath, which has the same round shape I used on the first floor. No, it's not the first floor. I think it's called on the base floor. And I used the same platforms in it, and then I placed down some stone benches in the basement which are from Get Together and raised them up using the 9 key on my keyboard. and I raised them up so high that they show up above the ground on the first level. I then merged them together, connecting to the round platform, so these benches look like old rustic rune-like steps leading up onto the round platform, which is the entrance. And when you place items in the basement and raise them up, the game actually doesn't register them as being on the ground floor, so the benches won't block the sim from walking through them. I placed down some regular stairs in the middle of the round platform, but while I was playtesting, I realized that even though I could place them down, everything was fine on the round platform, they are somehow bugged, I guess, and my sim couldn't walk up to the entrance door on these stairs. But I figured out an easy fix, so in the uploaded version I changed out the rounded platform for a more square one, which has 4 corners on the platform, so it is straight in the front and then slightly diagonal on the left and right, and then follows in a straight line from front to back, connecting to the walls. I hope you get what I'm describing. And then the regular stairs are in front, which are then connected on a horizontal line, and everything is functional. And another focal point in the entrance is the little overhang I created by rotating the little balcony from Enchanted by Nature. I rotated it 180 degrees using the tool mod by Twisted Maxi, and then merged the balcony into the roof. Then I connected it with wooden beams, which are also from Enchanted by Nature on the left and right. And for the fence, I used the live edit one from Cottage Living, because I couldn't snap a regular fence to the round platform, but I even liked the way it looked. So I think now it's time for another hint. The build is not only inspired by the Palia house, instead I tried to recreate the house in The Sims 4 as best as I could by using items that look close to what I could find in my reference images from Palia. So talking a little more about what is actually going on the screen right now, you saw that I started landscaping the front of the build. I placed down this fence here on the grass, which is from Enchanted by Nature, and for the greenery I used these base game cypress trees and some bushes, which both are from the debug menu, as well as these purple and pink hydrangeas. And actually purple and pink is the main color I use on the inside and outside, because it's the favorite color of the sim living here. And the sim living here, and this is the next hint, is not a boy, it is a woman living here. So there's a female town living in this house. She likes the colors purple and pink a lot, and based on the way she dresses, I would also say that she likes green, black, brown and grey tones. She is quite mysterious, living here in the woods on her own, but she enjoys it this way. She likes keeping to herself. And one thing I wanted to point out as well is this interesting focal point on the house, which is the little bump out that looks like a greenhouse add-on on the right. For this I use these beautiful looking rustic windows from the Life and Death pack, as well as the matching roof texture, so everything looks really rustic. And these windows actually are connected to the Alchemist office. I will talk more about this office when we are decorating the inside, but first I will tell you that the woman living here is an alchemist. Actually, alchemy returned with The Sims 4 Realm of Magic, and it is one of the 4 magic styles spellcasters can specialize in. So the sim I imagine living here is a spellcaster that is a specialist for alchemy, which means that she can learn 16 potions, she can craft these different potions and then sell them directly from her inventory or on a sales table or even in a retail business. And she, all in all, is a quite mysterious, mystical, but also romantic sim. and she has light pink skin, a thick wavy black hair, as well as a beauty mark on the left side of her mouth. She often wears pointed polished nails and some jewelry pieces. So she has this large silver hoop earrings, an hourglass necklace, and a big ring on her finger. All in all, I would say that she feels good in her skin and she likes to show that she is quite attractive. So as you've seen now, I started furnishing the inside of the house, and we are starting with the living room. And in the living room here, the first thing you saw me placing down was this desk that has a typewriter on it. And the typewriter actually functions like a regular computer, but I like the more rustic look it gives the whole build, and I imagine that the sim living here often sits down at the desk to write letters to the other villagers, and she might even write love letters to some of the villagers. So let me tell you a little more about the backstory of the sim. She is a young adult, she is a spellcaster and has a former lover. Her career is that she is an alchemist, and the aspiration she tries to follow is the purveyor of potions, which means that she wants to learn every potions recipe and craft each one of these. Her traits are that she's a loner, she is self-assured, a snob, and her interests are in apothecary, dancing, entomology, fishing, as well as gardening. Gemology, I would imagine she likes handiness and a little bit of mischief. She enjoys the mixology skill, enjoys natural living. She also likes pottery, singing, romance, wellness, as well as writing. So right now you saw that I placed down this tree house in the corner, and the house actually is a fairy house. A fairy can live in here. And throughout the whole build, I placed down a lot of living houseplants. These living houseplants came with the Enchanted by Nature expansion pack. And I imagine that Sim living here, she likes gardening and she likes to tend her indoor living house plants, and then she collects leaves and samples from these different plants and uses them in her elixirs, potions, or in her tinctures. I placed down a stump here in the corner, as well as a lantern with some glowing mushrooms in it on it. And glowing is actually the keyword for this whole lot. Outside you might saw me placing down some of these purple orbs, which are from realm of magic. I placed them down in some of the trees, and actually in Palia these orbs actually are purple glowing trees, and you can chop them down together with other players in Palia so that these trees drop some rare wood, and then you can use this wood in recipes for crafting. So these purple orbs in the trees are a direct reference to the so-called flow trees in Palia, which actually spawn around the house in Palia. I am recreating in today's build. And here in the entranceway I placed down an old clock, and on the right also a wooden dresser, which is from Outer Retreat, and I merged in a shelf that has flowers in them. This shelf is from the Werewolves pack, and altogether I think it looks like there are flowers growing in the drawer, and I like this little touch. So next I'm decorating the kitchen, and in here I went with a quite different approach from what I would normally go for when I was decorating a kitchen. It is a bit more random and thrown together, I would say. I did not simply use cabinets and counters from Enchanted by Nature, but I also paired them with this dresser on the left. And I placed down this black table in the corner, which is from Realm of Magic. On there I placed down these candles from Dine. The wall shelf above is from Cottage Living, and next to the dresser I placed down a counter from Enchanted by Nature. I will clutter it up later with books and some items which are from Garden to Table, which is one of the newest kits we got, and I think those items fit the vibe of the whole house and the sim living here that likes to forage around the house and use the forage items for cooking. And there's also something different in this kitchen from what a normal kitchen would look like, in my opinion. The stove and fridge, which are both from base game, I placed them, are actually usable off the grid, so you can use them even when you have the off the grid lot trade. And I placed the fridge at an angle, which is something I have never done before, but I like the way it looks. And yeah, I also placed down a little sink here underneath the window, and next to it there's a coffee maker with some cups and also an assortment of different teas and I think coffees. And in the corner on the right I also placed down a bookshelf, which is also from Enchanted by Nature, and I rotated and put it at an angle, and in there I also placed down more items from garden to table. And then you already saw me cluttering up around the stove. There I used a lot of items which are from kitchen clutter. For example, the cutting board is from garden to table. The cutting boards on the wall are from Cool Kitchen, and I put them at an angle with the tool mod so they are not blocking the counter, and the sim can use this counter for preparing some food. The table and chairs in the middle are from Werewolves, and I like the detail on them with the book under one table leg, and the rug also is from Werewolves. And on the desk I placed down a candle holder, a tea set and a fruit cake. So the next room I'm decorating is the Alchemist office, and in here I placed down a few activities for the woman living here. She has a cauldron in here for mixing potions, as well as an apothecary table, which is from Enchanted by Nature, and also a jewelry making table, which is from the Crystal Creations kits. So there are 3 activities in this office area. She can make crystals, mix potions and elixirs, so there is a lot for the sim to do, and she can craft some goods and sell these in order to make some money. So next we are decorating the last room, which is the bedroom, and in here I also went with a purple and black color scheme. The bed I placed down is from Enchanted by Nature, and on the little shelf I placed down some perfume bottles next to these owls. I believe that these perfumes are crafted by the sim who is living here on her own, so they have her distinct scent in them. I placed down this little nightstand, which is from Life and Death, and on there you can see an old rustic looking alarm clock, as well as a book. And I also placed down this little vase which has 3 flowers in them, and I think these flowers might be from her own garden, or maybe they might even be a gift from someone special, maybe someone who has a little crush on the female sim living here. So right now I placed down another desk here in the bedroom, so she has not only one desk in the living room but also a second one here in the bedroom. But on this one I did not place down another computer, but I will place down this special book from Enchanted by Nature here. So you can click on it and then you can craft flower press art using this press, and I think it's a nice activity for her to do because she likes to grow a lot of flowers here in her home. And on the desk I also placed down a small butterfly terrarium, which is from Adventure Awaits, so she can grow butterflies or caterpillars in them. And just like that, we are almost at the end of the video, which means it's time for me to wrap up this voiceover and also for the big reveal. Drumroll please. This Alchemist Hideaway is inspired by Tamala and her home from Palia. Let me know in the comments down below if you guessed it right or not and what you think about this build. Check out the screenshots to see the comparison between my Sims version of Tamala's house and the original home from Palia. If you'd like to download this build, you can find it on the Sims 4 gallery under my ID Simbirdie_YT, or by searching the hashtag Simbirdie or SimbirdieYT. The This whole lot is playtested and everything should work perfectly fine for you. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoy spending some time with me today. If you have any questions or thoughts, feel free to drop them in the comments down below. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, take care, happy building, and enjoy the screenshots. Bye!